Cecil had always been a petite boy. Even from a young age, he stood out among his peers for his slight frame and delicate features. While other boys were growing into their lanky adolescent bodies, Cecil remained small and delicate, almost elfin in appearance. His petite look was a source of both curiosity and fascination for those who knew him. His family often affectionately referred to him as their little pixie. It was a term of endearment, one that acknowledged his unique charm. Cecil's mother, in particular, adored her son's appearance. She would often marvel at his graceful, almost ethereal, presence. His father, on the other hand, harbored concerns about how Cecil's petite stature might affect him as he grew older, especially in a world that often equated masculinity with size and strength. Cecil's petite appearance was not something he had chosen, but it had been a defining aspect of his identity for as long as he could remember. As a child, he had watched as his friends went through growth spurts and proudly displayed their newfound height and strength. He, on the other hand, remained on the sidelines, a silent observer of their transformations. It was during these formative years that Cecil began to feel different, not just because of his petite look, but because of something deeper within him. He couldn't quite put his finger on it, but there was a nagging sense that he didn't quite fit in. The world of boys and their rough-and-tumble games often left him feeling out of place. While they reveled in sports and competition, Cecil found solace in quieter pursuits, like sketching and reading. His petite stature only seemed to amplify this feeling of difference. When the other boys teased him, calling him shorty or skinny, Cecil would smile politely and try to blend into the background. Yet, with every taunt and every passing day, he became more acutely aware of his uniqueness. It wasn't just his size that set him apart, it was the way he perceived the world around him, the way he felt things more deeply than his peers, the way he longed for a sense of belonging that eluded him. As he transitioned into his teenage years, Cecil's sense of being different began to extend to his understanding of his own identity. He felt a growing unease about his own sexuality. While his friends seemed to be forging ahead with their first crushes and relationships, Cecil found himself grappling with a confusing tangle of emotions. It was as though his petite exterior concealed a world of complexity within. At night, he would lie in bed, staring up at the ceiling, pondering questions that swirled in his mind like restless ghosts. "Why don't I feel the way they do?" he wondered. "What's wrong with me?" He had learned to mask his doubts and insecurities behind a facade of cheerful composure, but the internal struggle persisted. Cecil's petite look, so often the subject of admiration, only seemed to intensify his sense of not fitting in. While he knew he had a unique beauty, it felt like a double-edged sword. His delicate features, expressive eyes, and the way his hair fell in soft waves seemed to label him as different in a world that clung to rigid definitions of masculinity. Cecil's bedroom became a sanctuary, a space where he could be himself without judgment. He would spend hours there, sketching and painting, pouring his emotions onto the canvas. The portraits he created were not just images but windows into his soul. Through art, he could express the depths of his feelings, the longing to understand himself, the yearning to bridge the gap between his petite exterior and the complexities within. One fateful day, while sketching in his room, Cecil's hand paused as he glanced at the image he had created. It was a self-portrait, capturing his petite beauty, but there was something more in those eyes. They held a hint of defiance, a silent declaration that he refused to be defined solely by his appearance. It was a turning point, a moment when he realized that his petite look was not a limitation but a canvas upon which he could paint the masterpiece of his identity. Cecil knew that the path to self-discovery would be a challenging one, filled with uncertainties and potential obstacles. Yet, he was ready to embark on this journey, to explore the depths of his own uniqueness, and to confront the nagging feeling of being different that had followed him for so long. The petite boy with the soulful eyes was about to embark on a profound transformation, one that would redefine his understanding of himself and the world around him. Cecil's story was only just beginning, and it was a story of embracing his own unique beauty, both inside and out. First transformation makeup. Cecil's makeup was nothing short of a masterpiece, an artful transformation that accentuated his delicate and expressive features. His face was a flawless canvas, meticulously prepared for the colors and contours that would soon grace it. The foundation created an even skin tone, hiding any imperfections and providing a smooth surface. His eyes were the focal point of the makeup. The eyeshadow, a shimmering blend of blue and silver, drew attention to his expressive eyes. It was a mesmerizing shade that enhanced their beauty, making them appear even more enchanting. Mascara added length and volume to his lashes, creating a dramatic frame for his gaze. Cecil's lips were painted a shade of ruby red, a color that spoke of sensuality and self-assurance. The lipstick was expertly applied, creating a perfect pout that demanded attention. His cheeks had a subtle blush, adding a touch of natural color to his complexion. The dress, Cecil's dress, was a meticulously tailored air stewardess uniform. The rich, deep blue fabric was reminiscent of the vast, open sky. The dress was a work of sartorial perfection, featuring a fitted bodice with delicate darts that accentuated Cecil's petite frame. The skirt was knee-length, with precise pleats that swayed gently with his every movement. A white, satin ribbon cinched at the waist, adding an elegant touch. The short, fitted sleeves of the dress were adorned with golden epaulettes, each gleaming with metallic embroidery. They caught the light, adding a touch of sophistication to the outfit. The shoes, Cecil's navy blue heels, completed the look with elegance and style. The polished shoes elevated his height, creating a graceful posture as he walked. They matched the dress, contributing to the overall cohesiveness of the ensemble. The heels were a statement of refinement, making Cecil feel as though he was walking on clouds. The tights, underneath the dress, Cecil wore sheer, nude tights. They clung to his legs like a second skin, creating a flawless canvas for the rest of his ensemble. The tights had a subtle sheen, accentuating the beauty of his legs. Every element of Cecil's full look had been meticulously chosen, turning him into a vision of charm and allure. The makeup enhanced his features, making his eyes captivating and his lips irresistible. The dress, with its intricate details and air stewardess theme, celebrated his unique beauty and identity. The shoes and tights added an element of elegance, completing the transformation. Cecil felt like a work of art in motion, a striking embodiment of self-expression and self-assurance. Cecil couldn't resist the enchanting allure of his transformation. The moment he slipped into the meticulously tailored air stewardess uniform, adorned with its deep blue fabric and golden epaulettes, he felt an irresistible urge to prance around. The dress had a way of swaying with every movement, a graceful partner in his newfound dance of self-expression. With each step, Cecil felt a rush of liberation wash over him. The transformation had been nothing short of magical. The makeup, the dress, the shoes, the tights, they had woven a spell that transcended his petite look as a boy. He was no longer the puny figure he had once perceived himself to be. Instead, he had become a dazzling and glamorous queen, a vision of charm and allure. The makeup, artfully applied, accentuated his delicate and expressive features. His eyes, framed by shimmering shades of blue and silver, were mesmerizing. The mascara added length and volume to his lashes, creating a dramatic frame that beckoned attention. His lips, painted a bold shade of ruby red, held an irresistible allure. Cecil's reflection in the mirror was like a dream brought to life. He pranced, he twirled, and he sashayed, celebrating the freedom that his glamorous attire had granted him. The short, fitted sleeves of the dress ended just above his elbows, allowing his movements to be fluid and graceful. As he danced, the golden epaulettes caught the soft golden light of the room, creating a shimmering spectacle. Each twirl was an act of defiance, a declaration that he refused to be defined solely by his appearance. The petite boy had shed his cocoon and emerged as a fierce and fabulous drag queen. He was unapologetically embracing his unique beauty and identity, twirling through a world that was no longer confined by doubts and insecurities. The room, aglow with its soft, golden light, had become Cecil's sanctuary. He was at home with his reflection, which served as both a companion and a confidant. His laughter filled the room, a joyous celebration of the freedom to be who he wanted to be. It was a laughter that echoed through the corridors of his heart, silencing the doubts and insecurities that had once held him captive. With every prance and twirl, Cecil found a profound sense of comfort in his own skin. The makeup, the dress, the shoes, and the tights had become extensions of his identity, powerful tools for self-expression. The dress, with its pleated skirt and satin ribbon, celebrated his unique beauty and identity. It was a dress that told a story of transformation and self-discovery. The polished navy heels, elevating his height and posture, became a source of empowerment. They allowed him to walk with poise and grace, a newfound elegance that belied his petite frame. Cecil felt like he was walking on clouds, as if his petite look had been replaced by a powerful stride of confidence. Underneath the dress, Cecil wore sheer, nude tights. They clung to his legs like a second skin, accentuating their natural beauty. The tights were not just a piece of clothing, they were a source of sensuality, adding an element of allure to his overall appearance. As he pranced around in his beautiful outfit, Cecil couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had led him to this point. It wasn't just about the makeup and the clothes, it was a profound exploration of self. The doubts that had weighed him down for so long had been cast aside, replaced by a sense of self-acceptance and empowerment. Yet, amidst the joy of his transformation, there was a familiar question that still lingered. Cecil wondered if boys would like him now, if he would find the acceptance and connection that he longed for. The nagging doubts about his sexuality and the need for love and validation continued to whisper in the corners of his mind. He paused for a moment, catching his breath as he looked at his reflection. The petite boy with the soulful eyes had transformed into a glamorous queen, a vision of self-assuredness and charm. He had come a long way in his journey of self-discovery, and while the path ahead was uncertain, in this moment, in his glamorous attire, he felt a sense of hope and anticipation for what the future might hold. Cecil's full embrace of his own unique beauty, both inside and out, was a testament to his resilience and courage. He had danced through the doubts and insecurities, twirling through the transformative journey that was far from over. As he pranced and twirled in his exquisite outfit, he was writing a new chapter of his life, one that celebrated the freedom to be himself, unapologetically and authentically. Cecil decided it was time to take his newfound confidence and glamorous appearance to the next level. He had heard about a popular gay club in the city, which was a popular venue for drag queens, and decided to venture out, fully dressed in his dazzling air stewardess outfit. As he entered the dimly lit club, the thumping music and vibrant atmosphere enveloped him. He felt like he was stepping into a world where he truly belonged. Cecil wasn't in the club for long when he noticed a pair of friendly eyes studying him from across the room. It was Peter, a charming 29-year-old man who had always been drawn to the allure of drag queens. He had an appreciation for their creativity, their boldness, and their unique sense of self-expression. Their eyes met, and there was an immediate connection. Peter couldn't take his gaze off Cecil, who radiated confidence and allure. Cecil, in turn, felt a rush of excitement. It was as if his glamorous appearance had not only attracted attention but had also kindled a spark of genuine interest. As the night progressed, Cecil and Peter found themselves gravitating toward each other. Their initial exchange of smiles and stolen glances soon evolved into playful banter. Cecil's petite frame and striking makeup were captivating to Peter, and he couldn't help but express his admiration. "Wow," Peter began, his tone light and filled with genuine enthusiasm, "you look absolutely stunning. Your makeup is flawless, emphasizing your eyes and lips perfectly. You have a unique gift for showcasing your beauty." Cecil blushed, a delicate shade of pink appearing on his cheeks. He was flattered by Peter's compliments and the warmth in his eyes. "Thank you," he replied with a charming smile. "I've put a lot of effort into getting my makeup just right, and I'm glad you appreciate it." Their conversation flowed effortlessly as they discussed their shared interests and experiences. Cecil's transformation and Peter's appreciation for drag queens became the focal point of their conversation. They exchanged stories, sharing their insights into the world of self-expression and acceptance. As the music continued to throb around them, Peter couldn't resist the temptation to join Cecil on the dance floor. Their playful flirtation had evolved into a dance of attraction, their bodies moving in harmony with the beat. Cecil's petite figure twirled gracefully, and Peter followed his lead, their eyes locked in an intimate connection. Cecil was acutely aware of his transformed appearance as he danced with grace and elegance. He moved with a fluidity that contrasted beautifully with Peter's strong and masculine presence. The dress swayed with every step, accentuating his feminine allure. Cecil felt a newfound sense of empowerment as he twirled and sashayed, a striking contrast to Peter's solid and confident movements. "You're an amazing dancer," Peter complimented, his voice filled with admiration. "Your dress is simply exquisite, and the way it moves with your every step adds to your enchanting allure." Cecil laughed, a joyful sound that resonated through the club. "I'm glad you appreciate the dress. It's a symbol of self-expression and beauty. It's wonderful to hear your kind words." Their playful flirtation continued as they moved closer to each other. Peter, caught up in the moment, leaned in to whisper in Cecil's ear, "I have to say, you're not just an amazing dancer, you're incredibly alluring. I've never met anyone quite like you." Cecil's heart skipped a beat. The connection between them was undeniable. With a sultry smile, he replied, "And you, Peter, are the kind of man who appreciates the art of self-expression. It's a rare quality, and it's a pleasure to meet someone who sees the beauty in it." Their interaction continued throughout the night, a blend of playfulness and genuine connection. They shared stories, danced, and occasionally stole affectionate glances. Cecil couldn't help but feel a sense of belonging and acceptance, something he had longed for. As the night drew to a close, Peter leaned in for a tender kiss. It was a gesture that felt like the final note in a beautiful duet. Cecil, now confident and embraced for who he was, welcomed the kiss with an open heart. In that moment, they realized that their playful flirtation had blossomed into something more profound, a genuine connection built on acceptance and a shared appreciation for self-expression. Together, they stepped out of the gay club and into the world, two individuals who had found each other amidst the vibrant and accepting backdrop of the club. Cecil's transformation had not only led to self-acceptance but had also brought him the embrace of someone who saw the beauty in his unique identity. The striking contrast between his femininity and Peter's masculinity had only deepened the connection they shared. Peter said to Cecil that there was a drag ball the following week and would he be his dye, and Cecil was only too delighted to accept. Cecil chose the following look. The dress, the gown chosen for Cecil's prom queen look, was a masterpiece in lavender. The fabric was soft and flowing, with a hint of iridescence that gave the gown a touch of magic. As he slipped into the dress, Cecil felt a sense of transformation, like shedding the constraints of everyday life and embracing the beauty of his true self. The fitted bodice accentuated his figure, and the delicate lace detailing made him feel elegant and enchanting. The sweetheart neckline added a hint of romance, and the layers of lavender tulle in the skirt made him feel like a dream. The tights, Cecil carefully slid into sheer lavender tights. The sensation of the smooth fabric against his skin was like a caress of self-assurance. He appreciated the way the tights hugged his legs, giving him a sense of grace and poise. With each step, he felt a growing confidence and beauty that came from within. The shoes, slipping into the slender silver heels, was like a declaration of strength. The elevation they provided made Cecil feel regal and confident. The silver color was like a shimmering statement of unity and resilience, and with each step, he felt a growing sense of empowerment. The accessories, Cecil placed the delicate tiara upon his head, and the weight of it was like a crown of triumph. The rhinestones sparkled with the promise of a brighter future. Matching lavender gloves that reached his elbows were a touch of sophistication that added to his overall enchanting presence. The hair, Cecil's hair was an artistic creation, styled in loose, cascading waves that framed his face with softness and grace. It was like a cascading waterfall of self-expression, and as he added lavender flowers and a ribbon, he felt a growing sense of beauty and authenticity. Makeup, Cecil's makeup was a work of art, a careful brushstroke of self-expression. His eyes were accentuated with shades of lavender and silver, creating a dreamy and enchanting gaze. Mascara added length and volume to his lashes, making his eyes appear larger and more expressive. His lips were painted in a soft, rosy pink, a kiss of self-acceptance. As Cecil prepared for the grand prom-themed event, he was not just getting ready for a night of celebration. He was preparing to be a beacon of hope and a symbol of courage. The prom queen look was not just a costume, it was a statement of pride and acceptance, a testament to the progress that had been made. With each step, Cecil felt the weight of history and the power of self-acceptance. The gown, tights, shoes, and accessories were like pieces of armor, protecting his right to be himself. The tiara was a declaration of self-worth, and the makeup was a testament to the beauty of self-expression. Cecil was ready to make a grand entrance, not just for himself but to celebrate the beauty of being true to oneself. As he glided into the event, the room erupted in applause, recognizing not just his beauty but his role in the fight for self-acceptance. As Cecil, now beautifully transformed into Cecilia, arrived at the vibrant gay club for the prom-themed event, he couldn't help but feel a rush of excitement. The lavender gown, the tiara, and the carefully chosen makeup had him feeling radiant and confident. Little did he know, a charming encounter awaited him. The club's atmosphere was filled with pulsating music, colorful lights, and an air of celebration. Cecil glided gracefully onto the dance floor, his heels tapping lightly to the rhythm of the music. As he moved, the layers of his gown danced with him, creating a mesmerizing. Peter decided to make his move, gracefully dancing his way towards Cecil. He offered a playful smile and a compliment. My, you look absolutely stunning tonight, my queen. You've stolen the spotlight, and my heart, too. Cecil responded with a teasing twirl, his lavender skirt swirling elegantly. Why, thank you, darling. I must say, you're looking rather dashing yourself. It seems we're a match made in glamorous heaven. The playful banter continued as they danced together. Peter couldn't help but shower Cecil with compliments. He praised his makeup. Your eyes are like shimmering galaxies, and those lips, they're simply irresistible. Every word was a flirtatious note in the playful melody they were creating. Cecil was more than happy to return the favor, his gestures becoming increasingly effeminate as he teased, "Oh, darling, your dance moves are positively envious. And your charm, it's as irresistible as a love potion." He reached out and gently caressed Peter's cheek, leaving a trail of excitement in his wake. As the night unfolded, they continued to dance and flirt, their chemistry undeniable. Peter found himself enchanted by Cecil's confidence and effeminate gestures. He leaned in, whispering playfully, "You know, Peter, I'm starting to think we make quite the glamorous pair. Shall we make this night unforgettable?" Peter was captivated, and with a grin, he replied, "Cecil, my dear, I couldn't agree more. Let's dance the night away and make every moment unforgettable." Their playful flirtation continued, each word and gesture filled with the promise of a night to remember. As they danced, they embraced the magic of the moment, reveling in the glamorous connection they had discovered on the dance floor. As the night continued, the MC introduced a cutest couple competition where couples would wear matching fancy dress outfits and dance together. Peter suggested that they would dress up as the world's sexiest couple, Posh and Davd. Cecil's Posh Spice look was a testament to the power of fashion and self-expression. The ensemble was an ode to sleek sophistication and timeless elegance, and Cecil reveled in every aspect of it. The look, the cornerstone of Cecil's Posh Spice-inspired ensemble, was the sleek and sophisticated black dress. It clung to his slender form, emphasizing his natural grace and elegance. The high neckline and modest hemline were a perfect fit for his petite stature, creating a timeless and classic silhouette that made him feel even more confident. The fabric of the dress was luxurious, with a subtle shimmer that caught the light, making Cecil feel like he was walking down the red carpet. The dress was more than a garment, it was a statement of simplicity and understated beauty. It celebrated classic design and the power of sleek lines. Accessories: Cecil had added sheer black tights to his ensemble once again, recognizing the transformative effect they had on his appearance. The tights hugged his slender legs with a delicate embrace, elongating his frame and adding an extra layer of elegance to the look. They were like a second skin, enhancing the overall effect of the ensemble and making his legs appear longer and more graceful. The tights seamlessly transitioned into high heels adorned with a pretty ribbon. The high heels added a touch of sophistication, and the ribbon was a delightful detail that added to the overall charm of his transformation. With each step he took, the tights and high heels worked in harmony, creating an illusion of long, slender legs that added to the overall glamour of his look. Hair and makeup: Cecil's sleek bob hairstyle was back, framing his face with precision and emphasizing his delicate features. The length of the bob was perfectly tailored, falling just above his shoulders. The color of his bob was a rich, glossy black, echoing the iconic Posh Spice and framing Cecil's face with striking contrast. It was a hairstyle that exuded timelessness and sophistication. As for makeup, Cecil embraced Posh Spice's signature style once more. Smoky black eyeshadow added depth and allure to his eyes, creating an air of mystery. His lips were painted in a deep, rich red, exuding confidence and sophistication. The makeup highlighted his features with precision, making him feel like a true fashion icon. Cecil was aware of the significance of his Posh Spice-inspired look. It was more than just fashion, it was an embodiment of his authentic self. As he slipped into the black dress, he felt like he was coming home. The dress's high neckline and modest hemline emphasized his petite frame, drawing attention to his delicate features. It was a look that celebrated simplicity and elegance, and Cecil reveled in its power. The sheer black tights and high heels adorned with a pretty ribbon completed the illusion of long, slender legs. Cecil couldn't help but admire how these elements transformed his appearance. He felt like he was creating an iconic look, one that celebrated his petite frame with grace and sophistication. The sleek bob hairstyle and the makeup brought out the best in Cecil's features. He looked at himself in the mirror and couldn't help but feel like a true fashion icon. It was a reminder of the transformative power of fashion and the ability to create an unforgettable look. Cecil was ready to conquer the world with style, grace, and an undeniable sense of self-assuredness. He knew that he might be turning heads and capturing the attention of many, but what mattered most was that he felt truly and authentically himself. The world was his runway, and he was the star of his own show, ready to embrace whatever fashion and life had in store. Cecil was a testament to the power of self-expression and the celebration of one's true self. Cecil had stepped into the vibrant heart of the gay club, his Posh Spice-inspired ensemble commanding attention. The pulsating music filled the air as colorful lights danced around the room. The atmosphere was electric, and Cecil felt like he was on top of the world. As he made his way through the crowd, his high heels clicking confidently on the dance floor, Cecil noticed a striking figure by the bar. It was Peter, dressed as David Beckham, exuding masculinity and charisma. Peter's attire was a perfect nod to the iconic footballer, with a sharp suit and a hint of rugged charm. Their eyes met from across the room, and Cecil couldn't help but feel a rush of excitement. Peter, with his David Beckham-inspired look, was a stark contrast to Cecil's flamboyance. It was as if two worlds were colliding, and the chemistry was undeniable. Peter raised his glass in a subtle salute, acknowledging Cecil's presence. Cecil, always the life of the party, sashayed over to the bar with playful confidence, embracing his Posh Spice-inspired persona to the fullest. As he approached, he leaned in with a flirtatious smile. "Well, isn't David Beckham looking dashing tonight?" Cecil purred, his voice a sultry invitation. Peter chuckled, his eyes twinkling with amusement. "And Posh Spice has never looked more glamorous. You're quite the vision." Their playful banter continued, each word and gesture charged with a magnetic energy. Cecil was flamboyant, effeminate, teasing, and seductive, while Peter exuded a confident masculinity that was impossible to resist. Their connection was undeniable, and the chemistry between them was palpable. They decided to hit the dance floor, ready to embrace the contrast between Cecil's effeminate allure and Peter's masculine presence. As the music pulsed through the club, Cecil's every move was a celebration of sensuality and seduction, while Peter's dance was a testament to his strength and confidence. They danced together, the sparks flying between them with every sway and twirl. Cecil couldn't resist the urge to tease and seduce, and Peter reciprocated with playful banter and knowing glances. It was a dance of contrasts, a perfect blend of masculine and feminine energies. Their connection deepened as the night unfolded. They shared stories, laughter, and secrets, each moment a celebration of their unique personalities. Cecil was the embodiment of flamboyance, and Peter was the epitome of strength, yet together they created a harmonious balance. As the night came to a close, they found themselves outside the club, the city's lights painting a vivid backdrop to their newfound connection. They had shared an unforgettable evening, celebrating their differences and embracing the allure of opposites. A romantic, slow song filled the air, its gentle melody washing over the dance floor. Cecil and Peter found themselves in the midst of the dance floor, bathed in the soft, warm light. The music wrapped around them like a comforting embrace, setting the mood for a dance that would express their deepest feelings. Cecil's attire, inspired by Posh Spice, was a testament to elegance and sensuality. As they swayed to the music, his dress flowed gracefully with each step, highlighting the understated beauty of its design. The high neckline and modest hemline remained as symbols of timeless allure, celebrating the essence of their connection. His sheer black tights clung to his legs, adding a layer of sensuality with every movement. The high heels, adorned with a pretty ribbon, contributed a touch of sophistication to his steps, harmonizing perfectly with the atmosphere. Peter, dressed as David Beckham, moved with confident masculinity, guiding Cecil with a gentle yet passionate touch. The strength in his arms, a stark contrast to Cecil's flamboyance, was a testimony to the harmony they found in their differences. Their dance was a celebration of the unique magnetism between them. Cecil's gestures were teasing and flirtatious, his every move inviting Peter closer. He playfully flicked his hair and swayed his hips, extending an invitation through their chemistry. Peter, captivated by Cecil's presence, leaned in closer. His strong arms encircled Cecil's waist, creating an intimate connection. As they moved together, their chemistry deepened, their shared laughter adding to the warmth of the moment. "You're a vision of elegance and allure," Peter remarked, his voice filled with appreciation. Cecil responded with a sultry smile. "And you, my dear David, are the epitome of charisma. It's as if we were destined to share this dance." Their movements flowed seamlessly, their energies combining in harmony with the romantic melody. Cecil's effeminate allure and Peter's masculine strength created a mesmerizing dance of passion and love, their every gesture and glance radiating an undeniable connection. Peter couldn't help but admire how Cecil's attire responded to the music. The dress moved gracefully with every twirl and sway, emphasizing Cecil's slender form. The tights clung to his legs, adding to the sensuality of his movements, while the high heels, adorned with a pretty ribbon, contributed an air of elegance to his steps. Their dance was a visual and emotional delight, a testament to the power of fashion and love in motion. As the romantic song reached its heartfelt climax, Cecil and Peter's eyes locked. Their chemistry was undeniable, an unspoken language of longing and desire. With a magnetic pull, they moved even closer, their bodies almost touching, the warmth of their connection electrifying. Their lips met in a passionate kiss, a celebration of their unique bond. It was a moment of shared desire and connection, an acknowledgement of their powerful attraction to each other. The dance continued, their movements mirroring the depth of their connection. Cecil's effeminate allure and Peter's masculine strength created a mesmerizing dance of passion and love. They were a testament to the power of embracing one's authentic self and finding love in the most unexpected places. As the song concluded, they shared a loving embrace, their hearts beating in unison. Cecil and Peter were a cute couple, a perfect blend of flamboyance and strength, ready to embark on a passionate journey of self-discovery and love. Next up was Barbie and Ken act. In his Barbie-inspired look, Cecil felt like he had entered a world of playful elegance and sophistication. The pink mini dress tastefully showcased his physique, emphasizing his sensuous allure. The modest V neckline and the silver belt added to the tasteful charm, and he couldn't help but admire himself in the mirror. The high-heeled, strappy sandals in matching pink added a touch of elegance and sensuality, making his legs appear gracefully alluring. The sheer, nude-colored stockings with a subtle shimmer were a delightful addition, creating a harmonious contrast that enhanced his charm. The ribbon in his voluminous blonde wig was a tasteful and stylish touch that completed his Barbie-inspired look. The makeup, with its soft blue eyeshadow and lush pink lips, made him feel like a true fashion icon, ready to conquer the world with elegance and sensuality. What made this transformation all the more special for Cecil was the knowledge that most boys would not be seen dead in such an outfit. For him, that made it even more joyful and compelling. It was a celebration of his individuality, a bold statement of embracing what made him unique, and an unapologetic declaration of self-expression. Wearing this outfit made Cecil feel exquisitely effeminate and proudly gay, a celebration of his identity. He loved the way it accentuated his feminine allure and how it empowered him to embrace his true self. The Barbie-inspired look filled him with joy, as it was a beautiful reflection of his inner spirit, unapologetically bold and authentically him. As Cecil entered the lively atmosphere of the club, he was acutely aware of the gazes that followed him. The gay men in the club were looking at him with an obvious attraction that was impossible to miss. Their eyes, filled with admiration and desire, lingered on him as he moved through the crowd. The attention from these men was a thrilling experience for Cecil. He reveled in the fact that his outfit, his demeanor, and his confidence had drawn their eyes to him. It was a celebration of his unique allure, a validation of his self-expression, and a reminder that he was not alone in his journey. The attention from the gay men made him feel desired and valued, and it filled him with a sense of belonging. Cecil danced with grace and sensuality, his movements perfectly in sync with the music. The gay men around him couldn't help but be captivated by his charisma and confidence. They approached him, engaging in playful flirtation and compliments that made him blush with delight. "Darling, you look absolutely stunning," one man exclaimed, his eyes locked on Cecil's figure. Cecil responded with a radiant smile, "Thank you, sweetie. It's all about embracing the fabulous."